Okay, so in this section we want to have a look at charts and how we would enter charts and how we would edit them. So the first thing we want to talk about is when we put in a chart, Microsoft Word needs to have some data there in order to put in that chart. So it needs to have underlying data. So we'll go ahead and we'll put in the chart. So we'll just select where we want the chart to go. So we want it to go here above that text. And I'm going to go to Insert on the tab at the top. And I'm going to go to Chart. So the Chart option is here and it says to add a chart. So we click on Chart and it's going to open up this Insert Chart dialog box for us. And it wants us to select which kind of chart that we want to put in. So there's different options here like a column chart, there's line chart, there's pie chart, all the different types. I'm going to stick with a column chart and then it gives us further options then that we can put in. So clustered column, stacked column, 100% stacked column, there's a 3D one there. We'll just leave it at this. We'll go for the 3D one because it'll look better. So we click on the 3D column and we click on OK. Now once we do this, it's going to open up. You'll see it's trying to do it here. It's going to open up a chart, but it also opens up a small window for us here. Now, earlier versions it may open up half and half. So half the screen Microsoft Word, the other half will be your chart area. But it needs this data there because if all these figures were 0, you wouldn't have the chart. So what it needs to do is it needs to put in sample data in order to make your chart. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on it here and I'm going to type in. So you can see I've category 1, 2, 3, 4 and series 1, 2 and 3. So what we can do here is instead of categories, we can put in our different things that we want. So hats, coats, maybe shoes and socks maybe. And then we could change the figures. I'm not going to bother changing the figures, but you could. And then we have these series. So the series could be maybe January, February and March. So you can see that you would put in the data and you would edit it, and you can see it's showing you for hats it's going up there, or you could change them. So we could switch the row and the column. So if I switch the row and the column, see this button here at the top? If I click on that, it switches them and then it shows January, February, March, and then it shows hats, coats, shoes and socks here for us. So some of the options we can do is we can change the chart title. So I clicked in here and we can just put in sales. We can change the background color if we want. We can go up to the format tab. We have our chart tools at the top. We have our format tab, and if we go to shape fill, we can change the background color to a color that suits us. We can change the individual colors of the different things. So if I want to change this blue, and if I don't like the blue, I can put it yellow by just clicking on it and going to the yellow option. I can also change the back wall. So do you see this back wall here with the grid on it? If I click in, I can go to shape fill and I can put it maybe to a green color, or one that's not there, even to one of these blue colors. Just change the chart wall and I can change that one's there. So we can change all the different options to make our chart look right. We can make it bigger or smaller the same way as we can with a picture. So by clicking and dragging it out, and we can move the chart by clicking and dragging, providing we have this tight switched on. So we'll go up here and show you the way we have been doing it. In wrap text and then tight, we can move the chart around the page wherever we need to put it. Okay, when we're finished with all these things here, so just say for example we stop selling socks, what we can do is we can just click up here and remove the socks from it. So you can see now it doesn't have socks on it, it's only showing 3, hats, coats and shoes. And if I want, I can put it back in and it gives me the 4. So you don't need to use all the columns, you could just use 1 or 2 just to show it. We can close out of this window, we don't need it. The only time we need that window open is if we want to edit it. So we click on the chart, you can go to the design tab and there's an edit data option and it'll open it back up for you that you can re-edit it again. Another thing that we can do on the charts is we can change the chart type. So I'm just going to put a bit of the data back on. I'm going to put it that it has the 4 of them just so we can see it. We can edit the chart type. So you can see in the design tab of the chart tools, we can go to change chart type and then we can put it to maybe a line and you'll see it says a line chart, or we can put it to a bar and it'll be as a bar chart. So they're just some of the ways you can do it. So the charts will be used just to represent data easier.